Hi there everyone, my name is Dominic and welcome to the Unfinished Swan. Now if you've watched any of my previous gaming videos, I've mentioned many times that I want to focus on games that I really love and want to share those with you on my channel. Well, this is a little masterpiece that I am thrilled to be able to share in this experience and show it to you, because if you have played it, hopefully it's a fun return journey for you, but I'm really hoping many of you haven't, because it's a magical, beautiful experience to enjoy for the first time. So I'm not going to preface it by saying much of anything because it doesn't need it. All I'm going to say is we're going to be going through a storybook together, and I think that's enough of an introduction. Let's get started.
Monroe's mother had always been much better at starting things than finishing them. When she died, she left behind over 300 canvases, not one of them finished, along with Monroe, who felt pretty unfinished himself. The orphanage allowed him to keep only one painting, and so he chose the unfinished swan that had always been his mother's favorite. But that night, he woke up to find the swan had disappeared. So he took his mother's silver paintbrush and followed the footprints into a little door he hadn't seen before.
And so our adventure begins. When I first played this game, this part had me so confused because what's happening? Well, let's see. You see, we are in a world without any sort of art in it yet. It is a blank canvas of a space, and we need to paint it to be able to make it come to life. Right off the bat, the first time I played this was one of those rapturous moments. The idea that the world's there for me to discover, but I have to uncover, I have to reveal it with my paint. And you'll see, unsurprisingly, that is an ongoing sort of story theme and motif, is trying to add color and life into the world that we're trying to explore. Oh, I love that too. You can hear the sound of the things around you oftentimes before you can see them. You can hear the sound of the wind chimes. Oh. Ah. It's funny too, because if you paint too much, then everything becomes solid black and it begins to feel a little bit unclear again. So you honestly kind of want to explore in a way that adds splatters of the paint everywhere. So it adds, oh, I see. Hello there, little gate. But like that, where it uncovers a layer to it, piece by piece. And oh, because we're in the trees, yeah. Whee! Oh man, see, this is there needs to be more of this in gaming and storytelling. It's that sense of childlike wonder and whimsy in a game or a movie, whatever form of storytelling, that I think there was such a misconception, I think, through so many generations about this being for children. The idea of a storybook even being for children. And it's like things made for adults that don't need to be inherently, I should phrase it that they can be lofty in their aspirations without being dense or gargantuan in scale, if that makes sense. Like, you know, famously, people like C.S. Lewis writing Chronicles of Narnia was rather made fun of by his other co-writers, including people like J.R.R. Tolkien, who felt it was a bit underwhelming for him to even be doing it and was a bit beneath his station. But for him, he felt like it was just as valid of a story as anything he wrote for adults. And I think that's the reason why those stories have endured for as long as they have. Because I think you can sense, oh, interesting. Some water over here. Because I think that sense of like this childhood wonder may be oriented for children, but the story and the magic of it is for anyone. And that's what this game brought out in me when I first played it, and I really wanted to share that. As I've said many times on many other gaming videos, I feel no interest in spending time focusing on games that I don't think I will like, or games that I go into expecting to not enjoy. I want to always be focusing Oh, that's right, because we're trying to find the unfinished swan, so we're gonna look for these the cute little footprints. I can hear them quacking along somewhere. But I want to be able to deliver experiences. Oh, cool. But to deliver and share experiences like this that are something bright and enjoyable, because I mean, there's so much heaviness in life already. So the idea of like this, where it's so cool, you're getting to experience something that is literally you are making a storybook unfold in front of you. Which, what a great concept! Oh, hey, bud. I love it. Whoa! What was that? I heard some big monstrous sound. I don't know. We gotta keep painting, I guess. I figured this would be a nice game as well because it's broken into very lovely little chapters. So I figured I'm just gonna do one recording episode for each chapter. That way, they're these little cozy, bite-sized episodes for you to be able to enjoy at your own leisure. Like, this is a perfect one, like, because there are certain, gamers, YouTubers who I like to watch because I'll just put, like, when I don't know what else I want to watch and don't want anything too serious. Oh, there's our path. Can we jump? Oh, we can jump. But I'll pick, like, a kind of a cozy game or a silly game from certain Let's Play channels and just let them play in the background and not be too worried. And I'll be on my phone, too, and not be too stressed about it. And just let it be something that is kind of low pressure, but I can enjoy. And that's, like, this is a game like that I wanted to share for that reason. That is, like, it's the perfect game if you're not sure what you feel like watching, but you want something to enjoy and to unfold in front of you. That's not too dense, too serious, but is really pretty, is really unique. Has some lovely music through a lot of the story and like the voiceover sequences when the book's being dictated to us. What's this? Oh, it's something way off. Hold on. What do we have? Oh, I see. It's like the little reeds by the water. But I just love seeing like what a great unique vision for a game to think. Okay, what if it was a storybook, but rather than just being just like a walking simulator. Only. Oh, we got somewhere. Oh, yeah, we're going to, like, I think the castle, I want to say. Yeah, we are. Very cool. But, you know, like, what a great concept to be like, what if we gave people the power to form the book around them? Like, to be able to look back and be like, all of that was non-existent and just blank without us. And that's why it's kind of unique to each person. Like, obviously, the goal is the same, but how you choose to paint it can change. And, of course, the game... I say, of course, like assuming everyone's played it when many probably haven't, but the game will, the color palette will slowly expand throughout the experience, so. I love games like this too, where there's no focus on dialogue, because when it's good, it really displays the brilliant sense of, what is this? Oh, okay. We're going to the courtyard of the castle, but it displays an amazing sense of vision and like directorial prowess to know, okay, this game doesn't need any direct dialogue besides like the storybook voiceover. What are you? What? Hold on, let's see. Let's throw some ink around. Let's paint a little. It's like getting freedom to splatter paint as a kid. Yeah. There's no wrong way to do it. There we go. All right, we got a little statue. Looks like maybe he has perhaps a mustache. What a handsome gentleman. Very distinguished, sir. There we go. And like I'm just gonna pause just to let you listen for a sec. I'll make sure the music's decently loud. Like, another reason why it's a cozy game for me. Like, that is so lovely and pretty. And it's so immersive. Oh, I see. We got more through there. Is that a duck? It looks like a duck. All right. So we gotta work our way over there to see what's through it. All right. All right. So, okay, yeah. So we're in like a giant courtyard. Oh, duh. Stairs. Or not stairs, but a plank of wood that will serve as stairs. It's amazing to me too how beautiful this game is. And like this is striking and gorgeous. And it's not planned. Like the most games rely so heavily on the creative team to decide what the player will be allowed to see and what their vision will be. And this one takes the opposite direction where it says, what if it is all blank unless the player chooses to fill in the color, you know? Like what a cool concept. And it comes out beautiful. I love it. Like this is like, there's such a smile on my face playing this game right now. That's the reason why I wanted to focus on bringing more of these quieter experiences into what I share. Oh, I hear a goose. Talk about another game in the same kind of ballpark is Goose Game. If you haven't played Untitled Goose Game, you're missing out. That game is fun as fuck. Like that is the prime example of a game that where like there are thousands of games, I would imagine, like that are more expensive and of a larger scale and weight, like being released all the time, but they're not as fun as Untitled Goose Game or a game like this. It's funny too because this would already be a pretty game if it just was like a straight walking simulator, like this was all painted for you in some stylized way and you just had to go through it, but it would not have the same effect. And it wouldn't feel, I think, as nearly as unique and stand out, kind of like the vision for it, if we weren't able to do it ourselves. All right, well here, now we can do a lot more painting. Let's enlighten this area a little bit. All right, so these are all walls. It's like being a kid and being handed, like, water balloons full of paint in a blank room and just being like, just go fucking nuts. There's no mistakes here. There's no errors. Because I think that's the thing that I think in many people's childhoods we're raised with so many rules about things that weren't necessarily helpful. Rules on making a mess, on things needing a purpose. And things shouldn't always need a purpose. There should be like a childhood experience should be so much about getting to explore and getting to make a mess and getting to do things like this is the best, like this is an example of that where it's like there's no really wrong way to do this, just throw some paint around and explore. Like this is a game, you could give this game to a little kid. And that's the beauty of it. I can enjoy it for the kind of the artistic scale of what I know they're trying to create with this. But you could give this to like a 5 or a 6-year-old and tell them just push this button to be able to paint and push this button to be able to walk around, and I guarantee you they'd probably be able to figure it out and they'd probably love it because they'd be unveiling things around them and they'd be exploring it. Like, and like any game that can bridge that gap where a little kid can enjoy it but also a quote-unquote, you know, a critical, quote-unquote serious adult. Oh, it's a piggy. I love that detail too, using the little gold accent for us to explore. What is this? Oh, it's a hand, isn't it? It's a hand holding a drumstick. Very nice. Oh, so pretty. Whee! Oh, we got like a nice Pegasus there. What are you? On the well. Delightful. Honestly, too, I'm only recording this because I wanted an excuse to play this game again, but I did want to share it. Like, this is one of those where, like, it doesn't feel... Like, it feels like cheating making content, and that's kind of, I think, why I think it's worth sharing, because I never want to make content that feels like work, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't feel like, oh, I have to make this to get it out there for the algorithm and all that. Like, I want to make stuff that, like, doesn't feel like work. Like, this doesn't. I would be enjoying this so much, whether I was recording it or not, but I wanted to record it so you all could have a chance to experience this too. Plus, as I mentioned before, I really want to throw light onto games that are unique and creative, and also games that aren't always big, expensive, prestige experiences, because many of those are great. Like, I was going through, or previously I've been going through The Last of Us Part 2, which is a brilliant game, but it's heavy and it's long as a game and it's expensive and you need a PlayStation 4 for it. This one, you could play this on like a potato PC with no specs and it would run just fine. And usually if you look, this is on sale for like literally like a few dollars usually is like the price point for this. So I want to shed light on games like this where if you're in a position in life, because I spent so many years being so dirt poor and not having any of the equipment and things that I have now, and I'm so grateful for them, and I want to make sure I'm using them to be able to shed light on things that people can enjoy who aren't in that position that I'm in at this point in my life. Because I wasn't. I was raised very poor. I had almost like nothing to my name. And even now, I'm not like... I'm grateful for what I have, but I'm not really wealthy. Like I'm at a point now where I'm able to not constantly be stressed about my financial situation, and that alone feels like such a gift, and is why I'm trying to take that as an opportunity to create for you guys and share and build, you know, this community around sharing cool artistic experiences like this. But yeah, I'm gonna continually do a mix, as much as I have time for, of finding small, lovely little games to share. That way, if you're looking for something new to experience, all right, hold on. Oh, hold on, where are we at? Sorry, whenever I see like the gold pop out, I'm excited. Ah, can we get through here? I'm assuming not yet. No, all right, that's fine. But yeah, I want to focus on games that are like not all me being like, I bought the newest. Oh,
the king is young,
hold on.
arrogant, and amazingly talented. He was convinced no color existed that was good enough for his garden, so he left it white. While he pondered how to create some new colors, his kingdom began attracting settlers, and soon he found himself with bigger problems.
I forgot. That's lovely. I forgot that we literally have to uncover the pages of the storybook in order to progress. That's fucking lovely. Oh, cool. We're knocking this down. Here, get out of here. Ha! I'm an artist. You cannot hold me back. There we go. What was I gonna say? But just mentioning like smaller games like this that are smaller, they're not super lengthy, they're relatively cheap to buy. And I think that's really important because I think, especially people who are into gaming and tech and whatnot, can be a little bit obtuse sometimes in the way they talk about, like, you have people who will there'll be games that don't run well on lower end PCs, and I see comments on like gaming tech videos that are like, not my problem, you have a shitty ass PC, and I'm like, that sucks. That's such a mean attitude when it's like, yes, I'm sure most of us wish we could always afford the best of everything and all that, like, because Lord knows, like, I mean, that's what I want, and there's many things I very much can't afford at this point in my life. But I also am like, I want to be able to, like, that shouldn't be a gatekeeping behind enjoying gaming at all. That's why I always understand and I appreciate when a game makes a keen effort to make a game run smoothly on a variety of platforms, no matter what, and be able to actually be effective. Like a game like this, where again, you could run this on an old-ass laptop, and it probably played just fine. You probably wouldn't have to sacrifice much of the quality because it's designed to be so simple in its design and so user-friendly. I think that's really important to add that kind of financial accessibility to people who want to share in gaming. Oh goodness, a goose! Oh, it's a swan, sorry. We fell through the fucking floor there. That was weird. Oh, because it was pitch black down here. I thought it was like a pool or something, or like a board. Well, fool me once. Aha! Yeah, that's another thing I'm like, you'll never hear that on this channel. It's like the snobbery over gaming. Like, if you can't afford a high-end, four-figure, several $1,000 gaming PC, oh, lovely, absolutely lovely. Because how many chapters are in this? Because I want to make sure to get through decent sections. Oh wait, because I'm like, I forgot, those aren't chapters, those are just parts. So each chapter has multiple parts to be uncovered, so that's fine. So yeah, we'll push through a little bit longer and at least get through this chapter of the storybook. But anyway, you know what I mean? Like you shouldn't have to be able to be like, if you can't afford like a fucking $4,000 PC, you should still be able to enjoy gaming. It's the reason why I'll never understand people who are like have a superiority complex on PC versus console. I understand the value of it and why like PCs are great and can do some really amazing things and are more powerful. But I'm like, I totally get why someone could save up potentially to buy, an Xbox or a PS5 or whatever for a few $100s and be able to experience all these amazing top tier games on one platform rather than needing to spend thousands for a similar experience on PC. There we go. Aha, he made a run for it. Motherfucker, this one, he's walking straight up. Gravity does not apply to this swan. I like the idea that it didn't fly, though. It just walked straight up this shit. Look how cool that is. Like, it's like some Sin City kind of stuff, you know? All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. That was a weird little glitch. My computer brought up like a notification and it minimized the game, but that shuts off the recording. So what I'm saying is it's not my fault. It's my laptop's for doing that to me. I'm not liable for any technical errors at all. I want that to be very, very clear to everyone. It's always everyone else's fault all the time. Oh, wait a second. What's this? Yeah, welcome. Wait a second, hold on. Oh, it's like a loop. Oh, I didn't remember that at all. Hold on. So if we go in here. Oh, that's cool. So it's an infinite room and we have to find a way out of it. I forgot the game did stuff like that. It's been a long time since I played this. This was a game that I played way back because it was cheap. All right, up here. Oh, because we were able to leap down and get on that upper platform because it's like an Inception kind of thing where the buildings, like everything's just like a copy of itself interwoven. Very cool. All right. Okay, we got out of there like decently quick though. Wasn't stumped for too long. Whee! Oh, did that gate close behind me? Hey. It's fine. I'm so on edge because I've been playing quite a few like tense, scary, like horror or thriller games. And this game is not that at all, but I'm still tense every time like a gate closes behind me. Assuming something bad's about to happen. All right. Tea!
The king's new subjects were tired of White. They were tired of tripping, of banging their shins, of misplacing their homes. So they started painting everything, ruining the king's spotless design. In response, the king outlawed all non-magical brushes and pledged to spend the next month painting shadows for his kingdom.
Very cool. So now we're basically being the king in this scenario. Oh, that's right, because now we start to get gray, so we get a little bit of shading in the world, and we get a little more decision on what we decide to paint and if it needs painting or not. Nice. Oh yeah, we get blue. Like I said, I love the way the world starts to expand and to get shape. Like, look at this. It's so. Oh, big sea beast. Yeah, whoa, indeed. I like that. Like our main character doesn't really have lines, but you can tell it's just like a little kid. Because that's very much how we're supposed to feel. Oh yeah, that's right. I think these balloons are actually like, it's not a collectible, but it's like a challenge to try to find a vantage point to be able to hit the balloons with the paint. Very cool. But I'm like, you know what I mean? Like you look at this and I'm like, this is like video game 101 in terms of like literally dropping an asset in with no lighting and shading and all that. And yet this game is more engaging and immersive conceptually than how many other large-scale games. Like, this is why a game with a simple concept done in a really beautiful and visionary way is so much better than high concept but half-assed. You know what I mean? Like I'm sorry, but this game I love way more than fucking Cyberpunk. And is Cyberpunk on a technical level better game? 1,000 times. It's 1,000 times more advanced. The first castle. Very nice. I love it. You know what I mean? Like, and again, like that's not a knock to anyone who likes Cyberpunk and all that, but I think like most people would admit that the game has a lot of flaws in it. Are there any fishies who are gonna get them? No, I guess not. But I'm assuming if I hop in here, the sea monster will eat me. So I'm not gonna do that. Like I think it's the same thing in like storytelling of any kind. It's the same with like writing and movie making, because of course, you know, I write a lot of my own scripts, and I do stress about, I try to make the dialogue as good as I can and think about the wording and revise and polish. I'm shooting like crazy now. But I just always think about like the writing advice, you know, that's like, you're always better having a simple story with complex characters than the other way around. Because we've all watched those high concept films, you know, and I mean, like, that was great, but the characters are fucking stupid, or they're simple, or they're dull, and that's worse. Versus you can take, like, audiences are very patient with simplicity. if they're sharing it with characters and dialogue that is meaningful, that is thoughtful, often it's funny, it's emotional, like it's unique. This is a perfect example of that. This is the simplest fucking concept. This level design probably was like almost no time to make. I mean, I don't mean that to be reductionist to the team, because they have to like plan all this and figure out how the user's going to go through it in a way that's engaging. But you know what I mean? Like, it's like they didn't have to like worry about the usual things of spending, you know, thousands of hours texturing everything and lighting everything and all these layered complexities. They just got to be like, no, what is, like, we get to lay all this out and then the user gets to have the experience. They're the artist of this story. And that's such a cool, unique idea. All right, what's in here? Pretty. I love it. Can we paint the art? Oh, no! Oh, no! I thought maybe you would only paint it a little bit. Okay. I will be more careful about any art that I throw, or any canvases that I throw paint at. I should have known that was going to happen. I don't know what I was thinking. These are so cute. And I love it, too, because I like that the art style, it feels both like a storybook being told to a little kid, but it feels like a little kid also telling you a story, you know, where there's no limits on their vision, and like they haven't got the stress yet of being like, does this make story structure? They're just like, there's a goose and it's unfinished, and we're going through a castle, and these are the drawings that like a kid might make. I just love it. It's so pure and delightful and not meant to be a stress. Let me see, which one am I supposed to go first? Oh, I see, like this doesn't go past it anywhere. Up we go. Lovely. Can I get this tiny balloon? Yeah. That's what it is. That's right. You get toys and like quote unquote upgrades, you know, which are just meant to be more fun. Like I'm pretty sure, I want to say, if I remember correctly, one of the upgrades, if you get enough balloons, you can play the game again, and you've got like a quote unquote like a paint machine gun. So it just fires at an insane rate. And it's really fun to run through and just be like tossing paint like a crazy person. Wow. That's so cool. That maze looks terrifying, though. All right. I think we're hopping down. I think we've reached... There you are. Come back here. Oh, there we go. There's stairs. I almost leapt. I don't think there's fall damage in this game, but still, that would have been silly of me. I think, too, I also love a game where because there's no way to do it wrong, there's no way to die. Because again, I understand, like with most games that are action-oriented, you need the weight of that to be like, if you do this wrong, there's mortality, there's a sense of, there's stakes to what you're doing to keep the thrill up. But this is delightful, not needing to worry about that. There's not like, if I do this, you know, if I do this wrong or I do this badly, I'm gonna get a game over. Like, I remember talking to someone about that, like, about games, why they... I think all games should have the system that many do now, but specifically Last of Us, where you start in the center at a normal difficulty and you can go up or down. I think because I know like Spider-Man is another game that has that kind of difficulty scale where it's not like normal and then hard and harder. It's like normal and then you can go easier if you need to. And I'm like, that's really important, because imagine you're a 7-year-old playing a Spider-Man game and you keep getting game over again and again, and you're like, why am I bad at this? I'm trying. It's difficult. Why am I bad at being Spider-Man? Like, that would be heartbreaking. So I think the idea of having games that like both games like this where there's not really a way to fail, you just have to explore, but also making games where there is a spectrum of difficulty for a spectrum of players. Because people often, I think, especially I think like gaming snobs, I think, often think everyone exists at their level of skill. And it's like, that's just not the truth. So many of these people are people who maybe didn't get to play games growing up, so they don't have years of muscle memory to help them. So they're going to be a little less experienced, but they still deserve to have a fun gaming experience, you know what I mean? Or if they're like a little kid playing a game, they deserve to enjoy it just as much. They deserve to have a version of that game in most scenarios. You know, that would just be easier. And I like it too, because there are games that I like to go back through that I want them on an easier mode just so I can enjoy them with less stress. Like, and it's the reason, like, I understand why you have games like Dark Souls where the difficulty is punishing for a reason. I have played those games. I played Returnal, which is an insanely punishing game. All right, hold on. I know this is up here as like a check marker or like a checkpoint, and I was trying to say landmark and checkpoint at the same time, and it just came out great. But like with those games where like I understand the curve of the difficulty, because yeah, I played games like Returnal that are punishingly difficult, and roguelikes that set you all the way back. Hold on, we got another page. All right, hold on. I'll check back in a second, everyone. It's story time. Tea.
The labyrinth was designed to be beautiful, and it was. It was not designed to be practical, and it wasn't. Whole families got lost for weeks at a time, mail took months to arrive, and many worried a labyrinth of this size was bound to attract dragons. Eventually, the complaints grew so loud even the king couldn't ignore them.
Neato. But yeah, it's a reason even games like Elden Ring, which overall I think is a very good game. I did enjoy it much more than I did with some of the other FromSoft games like Dark Souls that I liked, but they were punishing to a point where I wasn't really having fun. I was doing it just to prove to myself that I could, and often my life is so busy that doing something 20 times in a row to get better is kind of exhausting. Balloon. So I would love, especially in Elden Ring, the biggest thing is that all the enemies respawn. And that gets so frustrating when a lot of times I want to go back through an area and just explore. I want to clear an area and then be able to go back in and just enjoy it. And I fucking can't, because I don't want to go in there and lose all my runes and go through all that agony and stress of an area where I've already cleared all the bosses, but I still have to worry about all the difficult, like frustrating ass enemies that are still sprinkled throughout. So I understand that a lot of times the purist for those games will be like, well, then it's like the typical get good. And it's like, I understand that. I like difficult gaming, but I also like being able to explore what someone made in a game like that is really cool. And the world they built in Elden Ring is fascinating and super unique. And I want to explore it more, but I'm not always in the mood for the stress. There are times where I get anxious enough in my day-to-day life and I don't want to have to be stressed going into a game, especially when I've already beaten so much of it and I just want to go in and explore. Alright, not this way, I'm assuming. It is crazy, this giant-ass maze. You really could just go exploring and get lost in it for quite a while. Let's see, but I like that we're all heading towards the big monuments, though, so... Yeah, I got the big gate over here. Yeah, the game does a good job funneling you in the right direction. There we go. Like this, where the game's giving you something that's a little bit challenging, working your way through a giant maze, but it's not trying to make it punishing. It's not trying to make it actually difficult. It just wants you to explore and discover it for yourself. Ooh. God damn. Motherfucker, yeah, talk about a morning commute. This would be fucking awful to try to get through. Jesus Christ. Sorry I'm late for work. I've been in a maze for 2 hours and I'm hungry and starting to get scared. Tea.
The king was so frustrated with the messy, demanding people of his kingdom that he decided to start over. One morning he painted a boat and set off to find the perfect spot. He told himself he'd come back someday to finish what he had started, but of course, he never did.
Very godlike of him just to go, I don't even know what I'm looking at, man. Let's start this over. That's a joke in Eddie Izzard's stand-up routine, who, like Eddie Izzard, I love the routine so much. I'm saying there because I forget. There we go. I'm saying there because I forget what pronouns Eddie Izzard currently is using, because it was he for quite some time, and then I believe Eddie is using she pronouns now. But I remember seeing another interview where Eddie was saying, I don't really care what people use, so just out of respect for that, I'm saying there because I forget. But anyway, it's a bit that Eddie Izzard has that's It's the God thing where it's like, it's the, what does he say, or he or she say, it's like, it's the Etch-a-Sketch solution, where it's like, God just, you get to the end of it, making an Etch-a-Sketch, and the, I'll look through this in just a sec, the Etch-a-Sketch problem, where like, there's vapor trails everywhere, and nothing looks like it's supposed to anymore, and you just kind of go, I don't know what that is, and you just shake it really hard. Like, that was the Lord's plan, trying to flood the earth, like, historically in the Bible. Alright. Ah, helpful. I can see all my handiwork. Man, imagine the time. I don't know how much of this maze is actually accessible. I'm sure some of it is not. But the idea that you could, I imagine in theory, you could go through a lot of that maze painting for many hours. Which honestly probably would be pretty low stress and actually pretty fun. So, alright, we explore enough here? I think we did. Let's go on our balloon ride, everyone.
For the first time in weeks, Monroe felt good. He felt even better when the wind pushed him close enough to reach the Swan. He was feeling so good, in fact, that he forgot all about his fear of heights. But when the Swan wriggled free and Monroe fell over the side, he remembered almost immediately. That might have been the end of Monroe if this were a shorter story, but it isn't, which is why Monroe's troubles were just beginning.
Yay! Ah, delightful. So yeah, so there you go. That is one little chapter out of, I believe there's 4 chapters in the story. Oh, it's got the music. Sorry, just... That's beautiful. It reminds me a lot of some of the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe soundtrack, which is one of my favorite orchestral soundtracks of all time. Oh, it's so pretty. That's another thing, just... If you want to just listen to this music and de-stress, it's a perfect game for that. So anyway, I really appreciate you guys being here, and I hope you're enjoying this. I'm definitely going to go through the whole game because it's a pretty short, sweet experience, and I'm excited to explore more of it, to paint the world around us, and unveil what's there for us to enjoy. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching and listening. My name is Dominic, and I will see you next time. Bye!